I'm going to do a collective abundance reading, and then we're going to get into the last 4 zodiacs for the month. Spirit, please guide and direct us in these cards. Reveal the truth. Show us what needs to be seen right now for abundance, for the collective, the people watching, the people needing answers and clarity. These people are looking for peace. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for confirmation. Give them that, Spirit. Use these cards to show an abundant reading. What is coming? What is coming over the next, let's say, 60 days? How about that? I wanted to say 90, but we're going to go ahead and go with 60 days. Hey, Asia, too pretty. You're surprised you're the first person in the live? Well, since it's your first time, I'm going to give you a free card before I start my reading. So sometimes whoever's first in the live chat when I card. So Asia, too pretty, here you go. Your card is 8 of Pentacles, Asia. And it's telling you to work hard, stay focused, keep creating what you're doing. You're on the right track. Abundance is going to be yours if it's not already. After you're meant for fame. If you work hard enough, you're going to be able to make more than enough money to help the family members that need it and the friends that need it. You are a leader, not a follower. And if this is a sign for you to open up your own business, this is a sign for you to start. All right. So now let's get in to the collective abundance reading. The next 60 days. The first card you have is the 4 of Wands, and this is going to represent the bottom line. The reason you need money, the focus on money, is all to do with a house, a marriage, a partnership, and everything's going to come together. Honestly, everything that you need to come together to give you security, it's coming, especially if in regards to a house. Wow, abundance is seriously on the way for you. Oh my God, never seen abundance like this. This is really good, and this is almost even a little bit crazy. So mentally, abundance, there's a fight over abundance, a competition over money, problems, drama, family quarrels, drama with friends, loved ones, people that maybe you grew up with. Okay, this isn't easy. And it's like, oh my God, why are we fighting? We should be a team, not fighting against each other. And mentally, that's kind of where you guys are at. Emotionally, where you guys are at, and this is going to be going on for the next 60 days. Oh, I remember. Yeah, it just changed. I see. Emotionally is the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is no one's offering an apology. And maybe you don't need to. This is the energy of, I don't really want to offer one. I don't need to offer one. They should offer me one. Excuse me. You guys look like you're fighting over a house, or you're fighting over security, or a lover. And this has a lot to do with money for some reason. Like there's a financial gain that is part of this fight. There's a sense of freedom that comes with the 4 of Wands. And if you've been feeling stuck financially, I want you to expect an opportunity to break free from your stuckness with money. or abundance in some way. And it's going to be a time to celebrate, especially if you're fighting for love. And that has something to do with your abundance. You can expect some success with money and work and your business. And just remember, everything that you touch is going to come to gold. Life feels pretty good at this time. So why the mental drama? Fives are never easy. Fives, especially the fives of wands, are used, well, they can be used to your advantage. You can see the people fighting in that card, and they're just battling it out. It shows some sort of struggle and a childish battle where there's like no clear winner. There's no point. What's the point? This is definitely a chance for someone to prove their worth, to step up and show the others what they're made of. At this moment, the competition looks kind of even, but someone will stand out soon. There's some form of manipulation possibly, or certainly rivalry and competition. Just be sure to pick your battles wisely and don't get into petty arguments. Stupid, petty arguments. If you are competing for abundance or limelight in some way, it says you're going to have to step up and prove yourself. If you're competing to win a contract or win something, be assertive and be mindful about your motives. It's okay to rise to the occasion, rise to the challenge for the right reasons. If you're doing that, have confidence in it. With the Empress at the end and the Nine of Pentacles, I think you do. I think you do have the right reasons. Excuse me. Oh, these allergies, will they ever go away? I'm so sick. I'm so sorry, guys. In the emotional state for your abundance, with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it symbolizes a heartbreak and separation, disappointment. And you're probably asking yourself, why do I love this person at all? Or why do they love you, for example? It's time to take a look around and see who's genuine, who really loves you, and who's in it for me. Some of you guys are looking at a relationship saying, you know, the only reason you're with me is because I have a house, or because I have money, or I'm retired, or I'm older, or I have abundance in some way. And that's the only reason you're around. Some of you guys are thinking your abundance tends to be a problem in relationships, and you're not sure if your partner's really there for the right reasons. Okay? So you're questioning your marriage, you're questioning your love connection. And even if it's not marriage, it's somebody you live with. And you're saying, you know, this is a real problem. It could be reversed. Perhaps you are looking to marry someone or be with someone based on their finances, and maybe really not genuine. So things here. What's more important to you? Love. Or both, you know. Sometimes we try to have it all, right? With the Empress coming in the physical realm, and she represents what you're going to be experiencing literally. And that's a really good sign to have her. The Empress, as you guys probably already know, but for those of you that don't, is a divine feminine energy. She represents luxurious lifestyles. She represents love. She represents fertility, creativity. Her appearance definitely indicates a time of great growth, which is why she's usually pregnant. She is the archetype of abundance. Like, she's more so than even the Emperor. She represents feminine power. She's the ultimate mother figure. She's nurturing, caring, compassionate. So for some people, she even represents Mother Earth itself. When you get this card in the upright, it's super positive, and this card definitely shows you that there's a phase of great growth and achievement that's going to be coming to you within the next 60 days. If you keep nurturing your goal, you're going to achieve it. And it's also a reminder that you can ask for help if you need it. In love, she represents the need to nurture yourself and others. She's also a sign that you're entering a fertile period. So maybe for some of you guys, your abundance may change because you may be having an abundance of joy because you're having a bouncing baby. For some of you guys, it's a bouncing baby boy. But pregnancy could be in the cards, and that may lock in a marriage or abundance, or it's going to lock in some form of abundant security. Excuse me. With the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, notice the falcon she has on her hands and the level of control she has over that falcon. She's a trainer. It's been trained to come back to her. To an outsider, this looks like you have it all. And that you have all you need and all you want. But let's never forget the effort and the work that it took to get here. This is well-deserved. And it's a well-earned time of reward, reaping what you've sown. There's going to be a decision that you deserve this great amount of abundance. I want you to know that you're about to enter into a time of reward financially. There's going to be gratification, especially with this card showing up. Your hard work is paying off. It's giving you a sense of independence and self-sufficiency. And it's realizing that you are in control of your own life and you don't need anyone else to fix this or make you happy. You don't even need a marriage to make you happy. And you are going to be entering a period of self-love or singleness in your abundance. Oh, thank you so much, April. I'll think about that for sure. I appreciate that. Spirit, please show us right now the next 60 days for abundance, prosperity, financial security. This came up yesterday. That's crazy. Wow, there's the house. What's the outcome? Wow, the promise, the ring, the bouquet. So, when it comes to money, you've definitely hit some brick walls. The maze says you've gone round and round and round, and there's more than one person that you've been going around with. A lot of people are involved. We got that sense with the with the 5 of Wands. We got the sense that there was turmoil, multiple people, a fight, and it's verifying that with the hedges, with the labyrinth. And you haven't had clear answers. You haven't had clear guidance. You've been very unsure if this is ever going to come to an end, if it's going to have resolve, because it feels like a lot of you guys are on a whole different page than everyone you're working with. And you're like, Steph, I can't begin to tell you how different of a page, excuse me, or life path we're on with with these people. I'm trying to go in this direction, they're trying to go in that direction, and then there's somebody else who's trying to go in a complete other direction. And there's someone here. Well, thank you, April. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, you're the best. Thank you. The person that's in control of everything is sitting over here in this little garden, which is like the prize. She holds the prize. There's doves flying around her. She's at the center, and you guys are all trying to get there. You're like, we're all just trying to attain this house or attain this unity, this marriage, this partnership, or this financial business success. And for some of you, you've been fighting this fight alone, and you feel like, I'm trying to be successful, Steph. I started a business perhaps a few years ago. It's been a fight to be well known. It's been a fight to be seen. It's been a fight to get paid. For some of you guys, it's not a business, but it's some financial situation in which you're owed. And you've just been fighting to get what's yours, because this kind of shows me what's rightfully yours. And it shouldn't be a fight. And you've been tired, worn, and exhausted fighting it. And you're just like, every time I get to an answer, every time I find a loophole, or I get I get somewhere to get that money or that abundance, boom, there's another situation I have to handle. Do you know what this is? The reason your abundance has been an issue, honestly, not only is it karma, but it's Saturn. So I want you as a viewer to just look at your Vedic astrology, go to Google, Vault of the Heavens, Lahiri, Ayanamsha. It's spelled A-Y-A, Ayanamsha. Look at your chart, your birth chart, first of all, and say, where the heck is my Saturn? Because there are remedies. There are things you can do with Saturn to help you overcome your karma and your debt and the blockages to success, financial freedom, wealth, abundance, all of that. So Saturn is the real problem here. And Saturn is a blessing, and sometimes he's a curse. A lot of people say he can delay, but he'll never deny, but that's not true. Yes, Saturn can delay, and he may not deny, but he can also delay and deny. So Saturn can be a real problem sometimes. And you want to figure out what Saturn wants from you. So with your abundance, I'll help you. If Saturn is in the first house, what he wants from you is hard work, focus, dedication, and consistent daily routine on your body, on your mind, which plays a lot into religion, spirituality, physical health, and just daily routine with the self, your own self. So if Saturn is there, he wants that. That's your karmas. And you have a obligation to yourself. And that must be a priority. Because he puts you down as, how do you say, like, you take on a lot of responsibility with others in the 7th house. So if you're taking on a lot of responsibility, say for a lot of children, or you're a nurse or something like that, then you have to take care of yourself, or you cannot take care of the 7th house. You can't take care of others or your spouse. So that's why Saturn is in the first for you. And it says, pay attention. I need you to take care of yourself. I need you to focus and get it together, get organized. And that's a very big, heavy weight. And you might feel very heavy with Saturn in the first house. And your head may feel very heavy. There's a lot of restriction there, a lot of headaches, a lot of stress. But if you find a routine, mantras, affirmations, visualizations, prayer, and physical routine, you will find peace and abundance. But now, if Saturn's in your second house, what is Saturn trying to tell you with your abundance there? Well, it's a big, heavy burden, number one. It's a big problem. You have a lot of restraint, and it means that you might have grown up with some poverty, hardships, lower class, if you will. And as you continue to grow, you're always going to feel that your bank account, your money, your dollars, they just don't stretch as far as they should, and they're very restricted and restrained. On one hand, you may be into home ownership, you may have a business, but as far as being able to spend or have a large amount or gain, it's probably restricted. So it's like if you own a home, it may be an average home or less than average. You know, if you own a business, it's in service of others, like a food business or a cleaning company or something like that. It's not super prosperous, but it makes enough. And so you have to think, well, what does Saturn want me to do? He wants you to serve others. So if you have Saturn in the second house, he's looking at your 8th house of debts, death, transformation, inheritance, in-laws, the occult, etc. He's restricting all of that. So, you know, I don't think Saturn in the second house would be extremely wealthy, to be honest. There'd be some problems trying to get gains. And if you want to change that even a little bit, do something in the realm financially that helps the homeless, the sick, the needy, the disabled, the elderly. Those are going to be areas where Saturn feels like you should be in. And there would also be donating to those causes or opening up a business. If you want a little bit more abundance, open up a business in one of those fields. Something to do with those things. Even government. And Saturn will be somewhat appeased. But what if Saturn's in the 3rd house? Well, then there's going to be struggle, challenge, difficulties in doing what you want to do, having dreams, visions, aspirations. You might see some movie where you want to be in stocks and bonds or real estate. Like you're just interested and you want to have big gains, big dreams. And Saturn goes and brings a restriction on that. And he makes it difficult. And he says, if you want that, I want you to work really hard. As like, if you could be a realtor, you'd be working as a really difficult, long hour type of realtor. Or you might work in contracts, writing up contracts, which isn't exactly your dream. You know, all of your dreams, you may be serving your dreams in a very much more difficult way than you ever thought. And so you're just like, this is harder. This is more difficult. And you may have to try and try and try and try again. I think about like Saturn in the 3rd house, and I think of somebody like Danny DeVito. I don't know if you know his story, but Danny DeVito is obviously a very famous actor. If you don't know who Danny DeVito is, I don't know who you are, because he's in young movies and he's in old movies. He's very, very famous. But he is short, and in Hollywood, he was considered very unattractive. He was less than 5 feet tall. I think he was like 4'8" or 5'1". He was a little bit overweight, still is. He was balding even in his beginning of his career. He's very, very, very talented and a great character. Wow, he just really makes movies amazing. Without him, it wouldn't be the same. But his story is he kept pressuring into Hollywood that he wanted roles, he wanted parts, and they would never give it to him. And he would keep knocking on doors, calling people, pursuing, and it was always a no. And it was always, get out of this business. You're not made for this business. You do not look the part for this business. This is not the business for you. And that's very much like Saturn in the 3rd house. It's always a lot of no's. but you keep knocking, because Saturn will reward you with dedication, persistence, focus, hard work. He worked long hours. He dedicated himself. He went to acting school. He pushed himself into roles. He fought Five of Wands in competitions to get into even the smallest of roles until he landed, a couple big ones. And boy, he blew them away. And then, well, Danny DeVito's a household name. But he took a lot of criticism. Oh gosh, so much criticism and a lot of no's. Probably more than most people in Hollywood, way more than most people. So Saturn in the third is like, you're gonna be restricted on all of that, all your wants. But if you're willing to put in the work, it will pay off, and you will be known. You will be well known if you put in that difficult energy first and you serve others. And he served. He served years. He served long hours. He served it all. And he became who he wanted to be. So Saturn, you see, it depends on everything else in your chart, like your Jupiter and whatnot, but it can pay off. It can give you extreme fame. It can give you extreme wealth. It can give you so many good things. But it also gives you that problem. And then you go into Saturn in the fourth house. Family is a big burden and a big responsibility. Children, wife. For a lot of you, it's your just growing up, that being at home, there was a lot of responsibility at home. And home felt very heavy, and home felt very restrictive. Like you didn't have a lot of freedom. There was a lot of rules. There wasn't a lot of affection. There wasn't a lot of love. It was just a strict, felt kind of cold home. Cold, and it was, when you came home, it was kind of heavy. It didn't feel comfortable. So Saturn can restrict the comfort of home. And it can also give you a very simple home. And there's struggles, obviously, with that. But the positive sides, right? If you dedicate yourself at home and you dedicate yourself to your family and you do the work and you do the chores, think of a farm life, for example. Saturn in the fourth could be a farm life, growing food and agriculture to feed people. It's a simple life. It's not wealthy, and it's sun up to sundown hard work, but that's kind of a Saturn in the fourth, if you will, just an example. And it pays off, right? It's looking at the 10th. Yes, you're serving others, but it's rewarding in so many other ways. There's something beautiful and happy. And some of the happiest careers are farmers. The hardest, but the happiest. Isn't that strange? So see, Saturn gives reward in different ways. And Saturn's like, I may give you a difficult home life, but you're going to get a reward in another way. That is the balance, the scales of Libra. All right, so then we're going to move on to Saturn in the fifth. And there could be some restriction here on romance, passions, creativity, and unfortunately, children. Saturn in the fifth could definitely bring delayed children. You may not have children till later in life if you have children, because like we said, it can delay, but it can deny. It's kind of up to you. Some people with Saturn in the fifth may have to get like fertility treatments. They may have to work really hard with hormones or, whatever on their body to become pregnant. And if they do have a child, it takes the world out of them. It could wipe them out. It could make them feel depressed. It could make them feel stuck at home, unfree. And that restriction could make them in a dark place. Someone could maybe suffer from postpartum depression, things of that nature. Or it could be they do have children, but they're very strict on their children. They have a lot of restraint, a lot of restriction, and it's tough, and it's not a great relationship with their children. Sometimes their parents raise their children better than someone with Saturn in the fifth. Like they'll give their children to their parents, or a sister or brother to raise. So there could be complications. It's not always a no, it's just there's problems. But if you dedicate yourself, if that's what you really want, and if you put in the hard work to have children, and that was a big desire, and you have to keep going back, and there's miscarry after miscarry, and you finally get pregnant and you cherish that child, and it's the weight of the world on that child because they're the only child. A lot of people with Saturn in the fifth, only child, or the only girl, or the only boy, or they have a child that's the only. And it's like, oh, that child carries the burden of the pressures of all the hopes and dreams that that parent might have on that child. Education could be a big burden as well. Struggling in education if you have Saturn in the fifth. Early education, like high school and sooner. So that could have been a real, anyways, there's a lot of issues, but if you dedicate yourself, you can succeed. You just have to try harder than everybody else. Same with romance. There's a problem and a restriction and issues with romance and passion. You're going to have to try harder than other people. You're going to have to do things that other people don't. You're going to have to focus on looks. You're going to have to focus on intelligence. You're going to have to focus on relationship matters. You're going to just have to try harder. Moving on, Saturn in the sixth house, with abundance and burdens there, honestly. Yeah, I was trying to focus on abundance. Court. There's going to be some court, some trials, battles to get and gain money. There might be a great cost for health. Okay, a lot of cost. You may get a lot of money, but it may go into healthcare. There could be diseases there, but it looks like you may overcome them because Saturn destroys enemies. And with Saturn there, I feel like he will destroy and can restrict your enemies. So I feel there'll be a lot of conquering of battles. Lawyers could be very abundant with Saturn in the sixth. Because again, long hours, morning to night, weekends, lots of reading, lots of research, lots of being chained to the desk, chained to your clients and being in service of your clients. It's a very prosperous sign if you want to be a lawyer or even a detective, okay? Crimes, you know what I mean? So battles. Military also. Abundance can be gained through military, government work, legal work, crimes, things of that nature, and health care. So doctor, surgeon. Again, you know, lots of long hours and dedication in school years, but the payoff could be great. Saturn can be pretty prosperous in the sixth. And then moving on to Saturn in the seventh house, that's the house of relationships, but also sales. I'm sorry, I can't talk today, literally. Sales is what I meant to say. Markets. This is e-commerce. This is like Wall Street. This is sales in every department, even real estate, especially real estate. So all this people, customer service, clients, having a storefront, that's all seventh house. Okay, marketing to people, the marketplace. Okay, that's seventh with abundance. And Saturn is sitting there in the seventh. There's going to be, you have to be in service. You have to serve others. You're going to have to be the merchant. Saturn loves the seventh house. In fact, he used to be the ruler of Libra. So Saturn's like, okay, this is cool. I can let down my hair, can let out my feathers here. This is a good place for me. Saturn loves to work with people. He loves to be a merchant. Okay, so I feel like you could be very successful in serving other people, having a storefront, big ones, you know, and so that's a heavy burden. It's a heavy duty to serve masses. But with Saturn there will be you restricted to serve the masses. So, you know, think about big companies can be seen even with Saturn in the seventh. Okay, large Apple, things like that. Walmart, Target, but also just like Shark Tank. You see people, you know, serving other people but making a lot of money. Investments, whatnot, working with people, being there at their beck and call. Investors, insurance, sales agents, if you will, selling life insurance, things of that nature. Saturn being there, there's going to be some big strains on marriage, relationships, and you could see why. Imagine the burden of running a big marketplace. Okay, it does put a strain on the relationships. So relationships would be naturally strained. Marriages. And there might be a healthy, good, long-lasting marriage, but it will always feel heavy, dark, something painful about it. Very painful. painful situations. And even if you're wealthy and you're serving lots of people, you'll feel the heavy burden that you're not free. Maybe you don't have your privacy. But I feel like if you want to serve Saturn and if you want to be abundant with Saturn in the 7th, then honor him. Be good to the poor, donate, give to the disabled, the elderly, the single parents, have a business that operates with discounts for those people. That's a big one. If you want to appease Saturn, give special discounts to people in need. Always put your hand out to donate. In basics, anytime you want to appease Saturn, and this is for everybody, wherever Saturn is, give away 6 things every Saturday. Clothing items, food. If you give away white things with the moon, it's very blessed. So like sweet white foods, puddings, yogurts, custards, cookies. The more milky, the better. The more watery in texture, the better. If you give that to elderly people, homeless people, disabled people, people suffering, your mother, your grandmother, your elders in general. This is a very blessed thing to make something, create something for them. That blesses you if you give. I give away 6 free readings every Saturday. That's to help with my debts. Give away 6 things, even in the act of service. I serve you. I do readings for you. I'm in service of you. Okay? If you can be in service of someone else and you give 6 things away in service of other people, then you would be helping your debts as well, your karmas. 6 is the number of Saturn. The 6th day of the week is for Saturn. Saturn rules the 6th day of the week. So 6 is that natural number. It is also the number of balance, prosperity, and harmony. So if you want harmony and you want prosperity, you need to do things in moderation and balance. So don't ever overdo anything. If you want to appease Saturn, try to be respectful to your elders and elderly people, disabled people. Be respectful. Give them the time of day. When people are hurting or they're saying, I could really use some money, I could really use some business. If you see a single mom business, if you see a single dad business, if you see someone trying to open a business, struggling, a local person, go to them. Give to their business. You'll help your Saturn. If someone's taking donations for something, give even a little something, if it's under the right cause. So this is going to help you. Anyways, moving on. Saturn in the 8th house, which he likes it there too. How does that affect your abundance? Obviously, like I forgot to mention, Saturn in the 5th, your abundance would be spent on children, education, and sexual stuff to have children and to be romantic. You'd be spending money on that. So like, I forgot to mention that. If you had Saturn in the 5th, there might be money spent on hookers. There might be money spent on porn. There might be money spent on augmentations of the body. I forgot to mention that with Saturn over there. But sorry, back to the 8th house. It's kind of similar. It's kind of the same. You're going to want to be putting energy into the dark secret things. And so this is going to be secret investments behind the scenes. This is gold. This is iron, silver, oil, all there in the 8th. And it's investing in that or owning some of that. Saturn may bless you with those abilities to be able to do those things, but you're going to be tied to it. And you have a lot of responsibility to keep a lot of things top secret in the 8th house with Saturn. So you're going to have, like, this could be a top secret military official they got to keep things a secret. They know about things. Maybe they make a good living, but it's a heavy living. Maybe working for something like NASA, where you know about aliens, or you know about stuff, or you know about JFK, or you can't speak those things. Those are secrets. And you have to be tight-lipped. You have to be quiet. So there's restriction on the secrets. There's restriction on important matters. You might know secrets about the family, the in-laws that you have responsibilities to. Saturn in the 8th house is responsibility to in-laws. So you might have to take care of your mother and father-in-law. You might have to take care of your disabled brother or sister-in-law. They might be in a dark business or a dark, maybe it's the mafia, but there's something dark and heavy about it. And your abundance will be tied to it. Perhaps there's crime even. And Saturn is, trying to make you better, more responsible. So if you want to fix and heal your abundance, do the right thing. Honor the ones that you need to honor. Remember your oaths, I feel. And if you get into the occult, you get into spirituality, you may have a spiritual responsibility with spells, witchcraft, magic, astrology, you name it, tarot, to the family. And you may be the leader, the one that carries that burden or carries that tradition. So then you go into Saturn in the 9th house, trying to hurry. I'm so sorry. There's going to be some restriction on abundance with travel. Like, you may have a lot of money, but you can't travel. Look at Elvis. He was freaking famous and rich, and he only went to Hawaii. He never left the country. He always wanted to go to Japan, Tokyo. He wanted to go to other places in the world. But his manager, hello Saturn, never let him. He had to stay in the USA. So he traveled state to state, but he couldn't get out of the country. So he never went to Mexico. He didn't go to anywhere, just Hawaii. So if you think about that, that's crazy. Someone that had the capability and their own plane couldn't leave, didn't leave. Also, he was so famous, and the 9th house is fame, fortune, luck. He was lucky. He was good looking. He was famous. By the way, he had Sag energy. Elvis definitely had Sag energy, big time Sag. Oh yeah, big Sag. And super religious, in his own way, believer of that. And look what he did for a living, But Saturn's like, you have a responsibility. And that's why some of Elvis's favorite tracks were religious tracks. They were gospel. That was where he felt most at home on the piano, most at home singing. He loved gospel. He loved jazz as well, but he loved gospel. And so that was the responsibility of Saturn in the 9th house. That's that kind of example. You have a duty here, because the 9th house is religion, spirituality, beliefs, luck, prosperity, abundance, grandfathers, things of that nature. So yeah, you could just see that life play out. It looks a lot like Saturn in the 9th. And if you're dedicated like he was, he served people publicly. He was on stage. He was on the TV. He was always signing autographs. That Saturn in the 9th, it's like you will have the luck, the wealth, and the abundance, but you will have restriction. You will not be a free person. You might even be locked up at your house, which he was. He felt like that was a prison. Okay? His little compound. Even look at Michael Jackson. A little bit like that too. Saturn in the 9th kind of energy. I'm not saying they had that. I'm saying this is an example. And it kind of shows up like that. So you get my drift. You get what I'm saying. So if you dedicate yourself to your service, you will have gains. If you do not dedicate yourself to your gifts or your service, you will be denied. So these are people with high egos. Saturn does not like egos. He will weigh that ego down. And Saturn sometimes even reflects fear. So if you see Saturn in your chart, please look and say, oh, this is where I have some fear. This is where I'm fearful. This is where I'm intimidated. This is where I don't have a lot of confidence. Because Saturn squeezes that out of you. It doesn't like ego. He's very heavy, dark, difficult. He's the strict teacher. So moving on, Saturn in the 10th house. Oh, he loves it there. He rules that house. That's his house. That's the house of business. That's the house of career, hard work. You leave your house to go to work. That's Saturn over there in the 10th house. So you know, he's happy. He's happy in the 10th, and he's like, okay, let's get to work. So if you have Saturn in the 10th, you're a hard worker, dedicated, focused. You are putting your life into your work. And it is heavy and it's time consuming, but that is where your karmas are, and you will have to be forced to be a hard worker. This could be a physical worker like construction. It could even be business owners. It doesn't matter. It's hard work, long hours and dedication, focus, laser focus, drive, school, just so much heavy responsibility. But there's also this great gain that if you do all of this, you'll be a great leader. You'll be very, very rich, very, very successful. So you could be very well off. And you may not get to touch all your money, though. It may sit for the family. It's looking at the 4th house. All your money may sit in a property, or may go to children and wife, may go to husband and family, if you will, for some people. You know, it's just, you work hard for them. And sometimes people with Saturn in the 10th are like, I work so much, I get all this money, right? Can I have 20 bucks? You have to ask your wife or your husband, can I have like $50 so I can go do something? You have to ask for your own money. Even though you're making it all, it's like you got to ask for it. And you can't touch too much of it. You know, it's hidden. It's put away. You know, it's in investments, it's in savings, it's in insurance. You know, it's in the house. So it's difficult, but good. That's a good position. It's a good position. It's a good responsible position. And with somebody with Saturn there, it's a very responsible person. And then you go to Saturn in the 11th. The restriction would be, honestly, friends, networking. It's going to be difficult for you to network and make friends and be public. You would be guaranteed fame under certain scenarios, like if Saturn was in Capricorn or Libra in the 11th, you would have it wouldn't be so malefic, but it would be scary. You might be intimidated. You may not want to be on camera. You may not want to be around a lot of friends. You may not like being around a lot of friends, but you're being pulled. It's the anchor. So you are pulled towards networking, pulled towards being everyone's friend. Everyone wants to be your friend. But the burden of being a friend is too much for you because you want to focus on kids. You want to focus on relationship, not friends, not networking, not publicity. So think of movie stars like that give up being famous to be there for their family. So you look at, what's that guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Ghostbusters? He was kind of that dorky guy with the glasses. I don't know his name. But he was super famous, totally Saturn in the 11th. He had a lot of fame and fortune and popularity, and everyone loved him. But he didn't like it. It was heavy for him. It was too heavy for him. And there was a lot of responsibility pulling him towards the public versus his family. And when his wife died, which Saturn in the 11th could, you know, when his wife died, he took care of his children, and he left acting and fame altogether. He never went back. He didn't do another movie. He didn't do another commercial. He didn't do nothing. And he was very, very famous, very, very rich. But he left it, and he wasn't that rich anymore. I mean, obviously, he wanted to raise his children. That was more important and valuable to him. But it just goes to show that he didn't really fit in Hollywood because he didn't seek out that limelight. He was more, I want to hide in the background. You know, yet he was the star of the show a lot of the time. He made the show what it was, but he wanted to hide. He wanted to get away from it. So Saturn in the 11th is great gains, but great responsibilities. And you may get great gains at one point in your life, but your gains are to go to your children or your lover. That's where they want to go. And so it's a struggle. And then moving on, Saturn in the 12th house. This is the house of debt and jail, hospitals. You can imagine there could be a lot of that. There could be a lot of debt into criminal stuff, a lot of debt into hospitalizations. And if you're lucky, it's just debt into spirituality. You spend a lot of money on gurus, on meditations, on gemstones, on remedies. You spend a lot of money on that. you know, but there's great heavy responsibility that karma wants paid off and burned. I think Saturn in the 12th is more of a burning off of past karma. And to be honest, there's a lot of water and weight gain in the feet, or very heavy feet, or problems with the feet. And walking is just hard. And it's even metaphorical. Walking through life is hard. And so there just seems to be a struggle. But there is great wisdom with Saturn in the 12th, because Saturn realizes, let it all go. And the restriction and the responsibility would be to go through the worst times of life to show others what that looks like. It's to show others what mistakes look like and the consequences you pay. And you might have big debts to pay off. I can't think of anyone right away, but it's someone that does a big bad thing, and then they have to pay for that. And there could be some, I mean, I don't know, kind of thinking of who would have to pay great debts, and has great responsibility to spirituality. Even Elvis a little bit even shows an example with that too, being sick, how he died. He was in a lot of debt to his manager and to casinos and to other things. It's a restriction on bed pleasures, so not a lot of sex for sure. There's definitely a restriction on it. But he's not a great example of it, to be honest, because he's not showing people the consequence. Who's the consequence? I can't think of anyone right now. What the heck? And what's her name? With the cooking show. Snoop Dogg's her friend. Oh, I can't think of her name. Martha Stewart. She had to be publicly humiliated, and she went to jail for some periods of time and paid for some consequences for something she did with embezzlement. There's another person that did that. It's just karmic debts to show, don't do this or this is going to happen. I learned the hard way. The mobsters, I would say, have some of that energy, dark secrets, restrictions, hiding and hoarding money, stealing it, and then going to jail, like permanently prison for the rest of their life. So I feel like Saturn, it conquers that. It can conquer someone having to deal with those things, but it also can make them pay for it if they do the wrong thing. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into all of it and the details. This is not what it's about. We're talking about abundance. My bad. But if we want to focus on abundance, let's just say if you have it in the 12th house, there's a great deal of debt to be repaid. So you're going to have to pay back courts, hospitals, people that you owe. There's just going to be a great deal of debts. It's like an anchor weighing you down. Debt could weigh you down. It could also be that you have a lot of wealth and you're tied to it. Now you have to give it all back at some point, or it goes to the courts, or it goes through litigation. Perhaps you have a lot of gains, but it's all through litigation. But there's struggles, there's obstacles, there's problems. And if you want to fix that, if you want to fix why are you having so many restrictions to get money, to get gains, serve others willingly. Give to the poor, give to the needy. That is totally the 12th house. Saturn wants you to go to hospitals and volunteer. He wants you to volunteer at homeless shelters. He wants you to volunteer at elderly assisted homes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the name of it, but nursing homes. There you go. Nursing homes, orphanages. hospitals. So if you want to appease Saturn in the 12th, dedicate and give yourself and your time to those causes and give money when you can. And then he will release some of the restriction on you. So I hope that answered some questions on Saturn. I'm sorry we like got off track and we went there. But I feel like that might help some of you guys figuring out what to do to fix your Saturns, because that is the obstacles. So anyways, back on this card, Saturn is making you guys go through these loops and holes, and each of you have a different Saturn. There's obviously a group of people trying to get together to have one outcome. And each of you have a different Saturn. Whoever you're working with, your brother, your sister, your lover, your mom, your dad, your kids, whoever, you each have different Saturns. Think about what you guys have to do individually to appease those Saturns. Do your mantras, do your meditations, do your prayers, do your Saturday rituals, okay? Because if you do appease Saturn in those ways, you make it easier on yourself. Easier to deal with Saturn. Make him happy, and he'll ease up the pain and restriction somewhat, and you can get through this maze a little bit easier, okay? Don't forget to work together. This is teamwork. It's not isolation. So your abundance broadcast here, this foretelling, this message is everyone needs to work together to get to the end here. So you guys all have your karmas working against you, but also for you. And so this is all aligned. It's all meant to be. There's a grand purpose. There's a grand karma. And if you're watching this video, and I feel like it's you, the viewer, you have the Empress, you have the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands and the Ring. You are also getting the bouquet at the bottom of the deck. Under that is the letter, and under that is a beautiful heart card, the Two of Cups energy. So there is a beautiful partnership and a union. We have the Four of Wands that's going to help you with your abundance and your financial worries. So you're not going to be alone, and I think that's the biggest message. You're not going to be alone, and you are going to be blessed. This is a 60-day forecast. You will be blessed. Now, the other thing here is the birds in the birdhouse. And that's a lot of gossip, but it's also a lot of movement and talking. A lot of communication is going to be coming up. So I know that there's no apology, but there is a lot of communication. And, you know, this is about a phone call, a text. It's about meetings, interviews, negotiations. This card could represent your siblings, your lover, your friends, couples. That's what it definitely can indicate. This card is symbolic of gossip and chatting and talking and passing of information to one another. It's positive. And with the ring there and this, I feel like as long as, again, you work together, you communicate, you're on the same page, you're going to win. And you're going to get an announcement, and everyone's going to hear about it. There is someone that's louder and more well-spoken than the others. Try to follow that person's lead. This is also popularity. So if you're in social media, you're going to be more popular, especially on Facebook. Get into Facebook. That might stir up your popularity. Twitter, but also get into YouTube, Instagram. If you're in social media, touch the avenues, multiple avenues. There's been a lot of miscommunication, and the language of the birds here is signifying misunderstandings with your group. And so we've got to communicate, negotiate, talk, get on the same page. So make sure that happens, because with the ring, with the promise, I think prosperity and abundance is absolutely 100% in the bag. Like that's a, yep, it's happening. It's a big yes. This precious stone, the ruby, is July. Something very, oh, by the way, that's 2 months, and we had a 60-day forecast. The ruby is for July. But the ruby is also this the sunstone. It is the energy. The sun loves rubies. Okay, rubies represents the sun. So it's a precious item, and it brings, again, we talk about marriage and commitment. So getting married may solve a lot of your abundant issues, and that may be happening for some of you guys, but also just the metaphorical marriage and union of partnership. And that's what's happening here with unions. So it is a contract in many ways because it is a promise. And it is a symbol for completion and eternal devotion. The ruby is a guarantee of economic stability. In some cultures, it was buried in the foundations of buildings to bring and assure good financial fortune. The ring is also symbolic of commitment. So it always speaks of the contracts, the promises, of business partnerships. And this is the glue that holds it together. So I want to tell you, for your abundant reading, you are getting in a partnership. There is a mutual investor, a mutual partner. There is someone that wants to jump on board with you. And it's going to bring abundance. The signs for who this person could be: Capricorn, Cancer, Leo, and Scorpio. This is going to be very, very prosperous. And there's some very good news. And again, this is a 60-day forecast. I expect you, if you're watching this at the very least, to get into a partnership and a binding contract with someone that has something to do with your money and abundance by July. And I expect this to take you in good places. Now speak up, fight for yourself. Don't fight, but fight for yourself, and meaning look out for yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of business on your end. Okay? But this is lasting. The devil is a contract of binding. You're not going to have control over everything. You're going to have to share control. Oh yeah, you're going to have to share it with your spouse. Could be you getting married and this is a business partnership with your spouse, or your best friend, or your brother or sister, or your kids, or your, whatever, but you are not the only one in control. You're going to have to share that responsibility and share that control. One person may have more than the other. Like one person may have more into the company than you, or you may have more into the company than them. You may have more into the house than them. But either way, there's a partnership. And I see prosperity and abundance with the Empress. And if you nurture this marriage, this union, if you love it, if you give it care, it's going to bring you great wealth. All right. Let's end this with a fortune cookie. What does the fortune cookie want to say for your abundant read? Now, opportunity knocks. Get up and answer the door. So this is all happening immediately. And if you're in it, you know what's going on. You're like, oh, I'm in it. I know exactly what's happening right now. Good things take time. It's been happening, but now it's time to take action. So this is all going to hit 0 to 60 within the next 60 days. So by July, I see the birth of a business, the birth of a marriage, the birth of a partnership, the birth of a baby, and the birth of abundance. All good things are going to come for you. Okay? So we're going to leave that there for your collective abundant read. Thank you for your patience. That was quite a bit of information to take in, and I'm sorry it was kind of scattered and I didn't do any research for what I spoke about. I just spoke from my mind. So I hope that it gave you some clarity. But let's get into the last 4 zodiacs. What's coming: love, money, and spiritual. Okay? So the last 4 zodiacs that I have to do is Gemini, Sagittarius, and Cancer and Capricorn. Those are the last ones. So let's start with Gemini. And we are at 65 minutes. It's already a really long video, but these shouldn't take too long. But let's get in. So Gemini, Spirit, please guide and direct me to the right message for Gemini. Show me love, money, and the spiritual journey for Gemini. Love, money, and the spiritual walk. Bottom line overall energy for Gemini is Page of Wands. All right. Under that is the Queen of Pentacles, followed by the Judgment card and the 3 Swords. You've had a very painful decision you've had to make recently, but it's for the betterment of yourself and your security. This is a brand new start and a fresh new beginning for you. It's going to feel like alien. It's going to feel scary. It's going to feel unpredictable. And it is. But you're going to have to put on your big boy pants, your big girl pants, and go on this journey. Take your staff and trust in the universe, trust in your own intuition. And the first most important step is just taking the first step. You do not want to be stuck any further. Sometimes we have to get off of our throne and take action to make things happen. So let's start with love. 7 of Pentacles. So love has been a lot of an issue for you. You have dedicated yourself into a relationship, Gemini, with an earth sign, more than likely a Virgo. Your mutual little party there because you both love Mercury. It rules both of you. But there you are. You've been doing Virgo stuff with a partner. And this has been long-term dedication towards him or her. And you're just not happy with where it's at. You're just like, I have dedicated so many years to you. It could be 7 years or more, but you've dedicated your time, energy, and essence. And you know, you expected more. You expected more from this person. You thought they would be married by now or with you by now or further along in this relationship by now. You figured perhaps they would see your worth by now, but they haven't. And you're very disappointed that this is where it ends, kind of. 7 does have that information energy where it's like, what did you learn? Okay. It's saying not to give up, that you can still put work in on this and make something of it, but do you really want to? Because this is you tired of them. Now, this is not your typical love story. This is a very divinely guided connection. No wonder you've hung in there as long as you have. There's a lot of beautiful synchronicities between you and this person, Gem. Number syncs, timeline syncs. You guys have a lot in common. This is a very beautiful connection. It's loving, it's affectionate, and it's attractive. I could see why you've hung in there, but you are fighting to emotionally detach because you're tired. You're tired of the fight for them. You're tired of trying to get to this ending. And to be honest, you know why you're fighting so hard? Because they're fighting to emotionally detach from you. So you're always lurking in the shadows, or they're lurking in the shadows, but you're like, why? What is their problem? Why don't they want me? Why don't they want to commit to me? They don't want to let me go, but they don't want to claim me either. So there's this weird energy just lurking around for the two of you. What is their madness? Why are they trying to detach from you? Show me Gemini's person, why they're trying to detach. Oh, it's too deep. I know we're meant to be, and I'm committed to that and our love commitment, but this is crazy. They are scared of commitment. They are not good at commitment. They're terrible at commitment. Being committed gets them feeling like they're under pressure, sinking into the depths of sadness. Every time they get committed into a relationship, it doesn't work out. This is someone who has went through a lot of breakups or divorces. You know, they have a history. And they like procrastinate and push off any kind of commitment. They push it because they know how painful it is to end it. And they don't want to end things with you. It's like If I don't claim her or I don't claim him, I don't have to take care of them. Yet they'll always be there. It's very weird, but that is their weirdness. It's like, I want to keep you in my life forever. Therefore, I will not commit to you, because every time I commit to someone, it doesn't work out. And I know it won't work out. So I don't ever want to ruin what we have, because what we have is different. Can't you just stay here like this right now with me always without that? Do we have to have that? So there's a fear. And that's just a lot of the problem. Let's see what the romance angels want to say about that. They are trying to teach them to trust. This situation is calling you to have faith. So the universe says they're changing. They're working on them. They know they're scared of losing you. They know they're terrified that this won't work out. It's not because they don't love you. They're not attracted to you. It's not that you're not meaningful to them. It's they have real issues. And right now the universe is like, come on, have some patience. Seven of Pentacles is, let's have some patience. Don't give up. I know it's been a long time. Seven of Pence. Yeah, I get it. Frustration. But the universe is like, this is not your typical love story. They're worth it. Honestly, this person is worth waiting for. In the end, they are worth waiting for. If you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to dedicate yourself to this love connection and work through the shadows and get through the dramas and just kind of go deep into one another and heal, I think that you guys can totally fix this, mend this. And it may be one of those relationships where you don't get together for a long time in marriage. Like you've been seeing each other for 10 years, 20 years, and like it's been weirdness, but you finally come together. There's something like that. Like through everything we've been through, we finally can come together, which is not your typical love story. You know, my grandparents had kind of that story. They met when they were younger. She got pregnant. They had a separation. She went back to her ex, and he got married and didn't know she was pregnant. And then she went looking for him, but didn't tell him. And then he went looking for her and found out, and they never confronted it. And they always thought about each other, and decades and decades and decades pass. Other spouses pass away. There's just so much drama that happened in between it. And in the end, in their senior years, their golden years, past the age of 60, they found each other once again, and you know what? They got married, but not technically. They didn't go to court, but they exchanged rings. They made a commitment to one another, and they carried each other's last name in some way. So they also owned a home together. It was just not your typical love story at all. But they spent the last golden years together, and that was awesome. You know, not typical. And that was weird. Nobody really wants those kinds of paths, but they spent a good 17 years together before my grandma B passed. So look at that love story. Not typical. And they always loved each other. They just had other things going on. And there was dramas. She was scared first at one point, then he was scared later. It was just, there's a lot of distance and a lot of silence, even in those years. But this is kind of what I'm seeing here for Gemini. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly like I just described, but it goes to show you that there's disappointment and frustration, and there's a lot of years put into it, and it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up as a reward. Sorry, my dog is snoring. So anyways, we're going to move on from that and close with, where is this relationship headed? All right, so where is this relationship headed in the near future for Gemini? Nine of Cups. Live in a constant state of gratitude. You know, there's some singleness in the near future, but it will change. The good luck charm, the wheel of fortune. If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. Okay, this needs work. It needs work. You're still going to be single. You're still going to be waiting. And it's saying, just be grateful for this, you know, but it's still a struggle because you're alone and you don't want to be alone. If you don't want to be alone, cast a spell. Do something to call him in or her in, Gemini. You are the witch or the warlock in the zodiac. Gemini is always the witch and the magical spiritual one. So you use the craft with your hands. That's Gemini. So do something to stir it up. But let's see what this card has to say, because there's still a little bit of frustration with the Nine of Cups. Be grateful for your life. Be grateful for your moments alone. Be grateful for your singleness. Be grateful for peace. You are going to get money, so there's prosperity here. She's sitting here sipping her coffee, and this card asks to express gratitude for how far you've made it with him or her, or even just yourself. Perhaps you're still waiting for that wish to come true, but you're still surrounded by so many self-made blessings, and you have only more time to look forward to. So it's like, in the near future, you may be alone, but count your blessings. It doesn't mean forever you're going to be alone. It doesn't mean always. It doesn't mean this is the end of your life. This is the end of all your tarot readings. This is how your life ends up. No, this is the near future, meaning like the next couple weeks, the next maybe even couple months. This is the near future. So are you going to be single in the near future? Yeah, you're going to be single still, Gemini. Value your time of peace, sipping coffee with your dog by the beach or in a forest or with your chickens outside or just enjoying life. Value that, appreciate that, be grateful for that. You still have this person in the wing. They still love you. They are drama-filled, but there's love here. And if you hang in there, Seven of Pentacles, I do feel there will be a payoff. If you want to stir things up faster, get to work. Get some spells going, get some magic. Use your craft. You know what to do to bring on communication, to bring on a visit, to bring on shadow work, to bring on this union closer. You can either sit and relax and just let things play out, or you can start to bring it on faster. It's up to you. But that's the message there for love with Gemini. And I'm going to give you one tidbit of advice. What is it they really want to tell you, but they don't tell you because here you are alone? So what is it your partner that loves you, but is afraid and trying to emotionally detach? If they could tell you something from their heart of hearts, what would it be? Because the universe wants them to trust. There it is, afraid. We talked about fear. I've been hurt so badly before. See, like I told you, divorces and all that. And of all the damage that you could do, I've never loved anyone like this before. You're special. You're different. And to have you and lose you would be my undoing. This is just what I said. It's crazy how the cards come out to confirm the Gemini love message, but there it is. Confirming everything I'm trying to tell you of why they're doing what they're doing, why they're avoiding you, because they do love you. And that's why they're trying to detach. They want to save your connection. They want to keep you in their life, and they feel like if they commit and they're with you, that you'll go away at some point. So believe me, that's fear, and that's what the universe is trying to work on them with, to have trust and commitment. But this is just what they could tell you, okay? They wouldn't want to live anymore if they were to be in a beautiful marriage or union with you and lose you. What would they have? They would lose their best friend. They would lose their companion. They would lose their soulmate. They would lose their comfort. You're very important to them. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. That's love for Gemini. And so now we're going to get into money. So for money, you've got the Nine of Swords. Money is kind of a nightmare, isn't it? You're like, oh yeah, I'm living a nightmare financially. This is insane. Bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Pentacles over here for money. So prosperity and abundance is coming. I think you're worrying over nothing. You're panicking over nothing. Why are you so worried? What is the problem? Let's take a look. What is the problem financially for Gemini? Why are you staying up late at night? Why can't you sleep and have peace of mind? What is the problem for money? We have death, the coffin, which is inheritance. We have the ship, which is like the Three of Wands. Expiation. and the anchor. So you're worried because you just want things to settle down and be secure. Gemini, you're looking for retirement, or you're looking for peace and security. Things to settle down. You're tired of moving. The anchor to me is like, I want to buy someplace and stay there. The child here represents a new beginning and a fresh new start. It also means you have worries for children financially. Maybe you're worrying about your children financially. But you're just like, I really just want security, and I feel like I deserve that. For a lot of you gems, you are worrying if you have enough to take care of your children. Perhaps put them through college or support them in some way. For some of you guys, you're worried you won't ever have children, and who are you going to leave all your things to? Where is it all going to go? Maybe for some of you, you're the only child and you're supposed to inherit something. And you feel like everything's blocking you. And you also feel like if you get your gains, if you get your inheritance, everyone's going to hate you and you're going to lose your family. And you're like, what kind of trade-off is that? It's like, why would I want my rightful inheritance if my aunts and uncles are going to be jealous and no longer see me? Or my parents are upset. Or I lose my parents. It's like your dad could be on their deathbed and saying, I'm going to leave everything to you. And you're like, I don't want everything. I want you. I want security, but I didn't want it this way. I want security, but I didn't want to lose you. And so there's this sadness, and it's coming fast, and you can't stop it. So there's this energy of you're going to get your security, but it comes with a price. And you're worried, and you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that. But I do. I need it. I need the anchor. I need the security, but I don't want it this way. So you don't want security that way. Spirit, what is happening for Gemini with finances and security? Ten of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the upright. You're sorry, but there's some kind of familial family situation with Gemini that is a real big problem. And this is the breaking up of a marriage. This could be a divorce. This is the severing of family ties. This is someone dying in the family. It's a real problem. And I see the pain and stress and worry now. You're like, I'm hurting family. I'm hurting the ones I love. Maybe it's not you hurting them. Maybe just your family in general is hurting. Maybe your children are hurting and they need this money. They need you to come into some money now. And you're going to get it. But it's heavy how you get it. It's not a good feeling how you get it. I really see that strongly. There's no way around that. I will read from this particular deck the outcome with the Ten of Cups in reverse. And it says there could be some disharmony in the home or within your inner circle. And when you envision your happiest life, what does that look like? Chase it. Whether that means salvaging what's already here or building something new entirely. For some of you guys, I don't see that you can salvage. I feel with the death card there, I'm trying to salvage, but I can't, especially with that Knight of Cups in the upright. Like you've tried to salvage it, but it's sinking. And that anvil to me is like this ship is sinking. And this kills you. Oh God. The pain, the suffering. This is a card of stress and worry. And that money right now is overwhelming. There is a lot of guilt, regret, and stress associated with that card. Everyone has suffered a night or two of tossing and turning, but this person here in Gemini, it's always dark. It's always suffering. But remember, it's darkest before the dawn. At least this card's in the upright, because when this is about money, when you draw the Nine of Swords, you are worried about it. You're suffering and you're stressing about money. You need to work out what is making you feel this way. And you may be finding it difficult to focus on good things, to manifest money because of the stress. And you feel like you're alone and you're isolated and it's all on your shoulders. And you're looking for some emotional support and no one's there. Like family's a real problem. So you're feeling bad, you're feeling guilt, you're feeling shame, you're feeling pain. But it's time to refocus. Now, there's one thing you can do, and it is close your eyes, Gemini. You are the king and queen of mantras. Okay? Close your eyes. You are the king and queen of visualization. You're so good at it. You're so good at it. Mercury rules you. This is your energy. And I want you to say out loud, Gemini, I am safe. Everything is working out in my favor. Everything happens for a reason. And no matter what has happened, I will be okay. No matter what transpires, it's going to end up for the greater good for me. Money comes to me easily and freely, and it will come at the right time. My financial worries will be solved. I don't need to stress because everything is happening as it should, and I am safe. And everything I need comes to me without hesitation. Everything I want is within my reach. What I want is possible. And the universe is doing everything it can to make it happen. And even right now, I am safe and money is on its way to me. And my worries are done. And I am happy and I am at peace. And I'm safe and secure. My home is safe and secure. My family is cared for and nurtured. We are sitting in abundance. We have good health. We have good food. We have security. We have the ability to do the things that we love to do together. We are safe and we are abundant. And I am grateful. Thank you, universe. And if you have to say that over and over, say it over and over. Let this be your mantra. Let this be something you say in the night, in the height of worry. Let this be something you say throughout the day, just humming a tune. Remember those words. Remember affirming your reality, even when it doesn't feel that way, even when it's just terrifying. Because sometimes your nightmare is just putting the fear of God in you, putting the fear in you, making you think this is it, but it's not. It's just a nightmare. It's not your reality. So that's the message here for your financials. Let's get a fortune cookie oracle for Gem. Opportunity knocks. Get up and answer the door. So something good is coming. All right. Something very, very good. It's coming, and be ready for it. And it's coming soon. It's coming fast. So you're going to get an opportunity for money. Okay. It's going to solve your issues. This could be a job. This could be a partnership. Whatever this is for you, it's coming. So you're not left out in the cold. You're not alone. You're not in a pit of worry. The answers are coming. The remedies are coming. And bottom of the deck, serenity prayer. Good for you. God, grant me the serenity to change the things that I can, accept the things I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay? You honor that gem. That's your thing right now. All right, so let's see spiritually. What's happening for you as a soul here on this planet on your path? Page of Swords. You are a student of the universe. You're supposed to take some kind of class or coaching. Page of Swords is you're going to have to write things down, take notes, listen to seminars, videos, classes, get a teacher, get a guru, because it's time to learn. Okay, let's absorb some energy from the universe and just get a message. So the universe is trying to teach you something as a soul. You are a young soul, Page of Swords, and there's a lot to learn. You don't know everything, so watch what you say before you say it. Okay, so there's a lot about watching your words right now, spiritually speaking, on your path. Yep, watch what your words are. We have the owls. Communication is key. How you communicate to others. You may also be teaching. You may be, yes, you may be in a teaching position. So not only are you a student of the universe, you are a teacher on this planet. So spiritually, you're meant to teach and help others be guided onto the righteous path. So then you have the good luck charm here with the little pup, and he represents loyalty. And so you are to be loyal to the universe and honor your karma of being a teacher. You have a duty to teach publicly or teach a community. So focus more on teaching and learning right now. Spiritually, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That is your spiritual walk, learning something new. And what comes out for you is no more bad decisions. All right, planning for the future. Travel is good for the soul. So you've made some harsh decisions that obviously affected your life, and this is a reflection. Hopefully you've learned from your mistakes, and as you start to manifest your new future, take some time to go on a road trip. Get in the car, see things. This is traveling. Venus is the vehicle, and Venus helps you to travel from point A to point B spiritually. So during the next 30 days, you are expected spiritually to go on a trip, a car trip. Take some pictures, learn something new, so you could teach others, so you can be inspired, and so you can dissolve some karma. What does your fortune cookie say for your spiritual journey? Romantic feelings. Romance is on the way. They want you to put your hair down, get loose, kiss, hold hands, get romantic with a partner. That's going to help you spiritually. Probably unlocking the sacral and root chakra. It's a little clogged. Work on the sacral and the root. It's health too. Sexual energy is good for your health. And what is in store spiritually? What is the message from the universe? They don't want me to use this deck. Not feeling it. Okay, we're going to use the map. What do you need to know on this sacred journey? Spiritually, no more bad decisions. Okay. We have the compass. Funny how I turned it upside down. Very, very interesting. So finding your way to go, finding your direction spiritually. You're probably seeking what exact form that you want to take spiritually, like what path exactly, what instruction to listen to, what duties to do, like, you know what I mean? The details of your spiritual life. So it says, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power will never be lost. And it says, what is your higher power right now? Whatever you constantly focus on, Gemini, if you focus on it enough, it's going to become your higher power. If you worry, oh my gosh, this is literally your message, and it's literally in the book. If you worry about financial insecurity, materialism is your idol. If you obsess over a relationship, that is your God. If you're concerned about your weight or your looks or your status, you've lost your personal power and your way. Nothing but spirit can be your guiding force. You'll never truly find what you seek, Gemini, if these worries are distractions and a constant focus. Surrender these and shift your compass. Be still and watch as the needle points you to your true north. Align your soul and yourself, and you'll easily find your way back on track where you're meant to be. Boom, that was great. I love it. All right, that concludes Gemini's message. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That came together nicely. I think that message was really nice. I think that message hit home for a lot of people. And I feel like it was fulfilling. I feel like it was a good, nourishing message. I really like how it came out. It was like just what the doctor ordered for Gemini. And it gave you a lot of revelations on who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with. It gave you some peace, some understanding, also some guidance on what to do to get through some of these difficult scenarios. Okay. So now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. Hopefully I can be a little bit faster with Sag. April, what you're describing is how the Gemini that I deal with acts. And I'm Pisces, not understanding why he won't trust me enough. Aww. Yeah, reverse these messages if need be, for sure. Especially if you're the one watching. Okay, Steph, this is one of those times. Oh, you're blown away. I love you. Thank you so much. Okay. So now, Sag. Spirit, guide and direct me with these cards. Let them speak the truth for Sagittarius. Sagittarius needs guidance on love, money, and the spiritual journey. Show me Sagittarius. Show me love. It's one of these two. Show me love. I gotta take 2 for love. I gotta go with what the universe wants to tell me. I'm sorry. You get 2 there, where others people don't. Sag is the lucky sign. Show me money for Sag. Okay. And show me spiritual journey for Sag. All right, bottom of the deck, overall, underall, bottom line energies, Page of Swords. Wow. A lot like Gemini just had, you're 1-7. So bottom of the deck here is the 4 of Cups, and it's in the upright, which means rejection. And you've been rejected, Sag, and that hurts. There has been, it feels like an air sign that's pulled back from you. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, they've pulled away, and you don't understand why. You don't understand why you're not seen, why you're not loved, why you're being rejected. If it's not necessarily about love, it could also be, familial. It could be family, someone you care about. It could be a child. Someone is pulled away from you, and you're like, why? What did I do to make you hate me? What did I do to make you not love me? And so you're dealing with some very heavy rejection right now, just in essence. Under that is the Knight of Cups, followed by the Four of Swords. Look at these two fours, stubborn energy, but also stable energy. And then we have here the Eight of Pentacles. So keep working hard. You are a grounded, mentally stable person, okay? And if you feel shaken by all of this, then take some action to get grounded. Kylo! Yeah, take some action to get grounded. Let's see what's going on mentally and in love. Seven of Wands, Temperance. They're battling you. So when it comes to love, this person is fighting you, pushing you around, pushing you away, not abusively, okay? Just your emotions, if you will. They're very defensive, and they're kind of pushing you off. They're going through a lot right now, and they're struggling, and they just feel like they have to. They feel like they have to defend themselves. They feel like they're being attacked. And they're going through a great healing right now. And it's going to take some time for this person to calm down. Honestly, they have a bad temper and a bad energy. They may also be reflecting this, and they may be the ones also feeling rejected. In love, the Temperance angel says, I come to fix this relationship. I am the fix-it angel. I come to heal this love connection, mend it, give it peace, forgiveness, understanding. This has been a long-standing connection, and there's a history here. And there's also a history of this person always fighting you in some way, pushing you off in some way. And Sag, by the way, Temperance is your card. That is the card of Sagittarius. Under that, we have Broom, which is the Death card in reverse. Tidy up your life so you can make space for something better. I'm going to be honest, your Three of Wands here in the reverse, your clutter, your uncleanliness, your mess, or maybe your life in essence is a mess, has pushed this love interest away. It could be your weight. It could be a literal mess in the home. It could be depression. It could be all kinds of things. But the Temperance angel is like, we need to balance this out. You need to balance out your weight, if that's a thing. B, you need to balance out your life and your schedule if your life is chaos and messy. And C, you need to physically watch your health mentally and emotionally, because there's tempers flying, there's emotions going every which way, and it needs to be balanced. And if this isn't you, Sag, it's them that needs to balance all these things, or it could be both of you, but it's a real problem. It's a real problem. And as far as death in the reverse, let's just take a deeper look at that. There's a refusal to let go. And it doesn't delay the inevitable, though, does it? This is the end of a certain relationship or situation. It causes someone to stand around kind of awkwardly until it ends on its own. Life is short. So be mindful how you spend time with others. So this is very awkward. You may have been waiting around with this person that just doesn't want you. I hate to say it like that. And if this isn't you and them, it's they recently went through a separation from someone that doesn't want them. But it's one or the other. It's either someone that they broke up with is what's going on, or you and this person are breaking up. I see some kind of a healing and a fixing, but there's some drama as well. All right, I'm shuffling the cards. We have love yourself first. Quit fighting to let this go. I think you've been knowing for a long time this is just over. It's not working out. And your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. This is just, you're waiting for them to come to you. This is waiting. For a lot of you guys, you've been working on this for 8+ years. You're highly attracted to this person, but it's a burden, and they have their own burdens they're not letting go of. And the universe wants to give you something else. Ace of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. But you have to want it, okay? This person is an idiot. And if they can't see how much you fought for them, how long you stuck around and what you put up with, water under the bridge, my friend. Let them go. Sag, if this person cannot see your value and see your beauty and see your truth, if they're not able to stick with you through the hard times, they don't deserve to be here in the good. So the overall message for love is, for me, what I'm feeling for you is pull away. Pull away. They're not respecting you. They're in their own stupid world. Perhaps they're going through a breakup and, you know, they're just in their own drama. Like, pull away. What do the Epiphany cards want to say? This is the Epiphany. So what does it want to say about Sag's love situation? Reciprocity. Adjustments are being made. Poor judgment. Didn't you have judgment here? I thought you did. Nope, that was the other reading. Okay, either way, you've been making some poor judgment, okay? They have not treated you the way you've treated them. It's just plain and simple. You already know this. You gave way too much into this. It's just not fair. And they don't deserve to have you. They don't deserve easy street if they haven't fought to have you, if they haven't fought to be with you, if they haven't done the work, if they haven't done what it takes for them to balance out mentally, emotionally, physically, and sacredly. If they haven't worked on that, why do they deserve you? And this is part of your lessons with love. Know your worth. I can't say it any better. You're unwilling to let this go, but you need to know your worth. If you desire more romance, Sag, first look at yourself in a caring, non-critical way, of course. The more you love who you are, the greater your capacity to feel loved by others is. This means trusting yourself to take good care of you. And it may entail becoming more assertive, setting up some boundaries. Don't worry, Sag. You can still be very lovable while affirming your boundaries. Perhaps this means spending more time alone instead of with them, or thinking about them. During this period, you can delve into some introspection and understand the patterns of your love life. Ultimately, you can take responsibility for attracting and agreeing to every relationship you've had and what you've had to put up with in these relationships. To heal your heart, find the blessing and the lessons you've gained from each one. For instance, if you've become stronger and more independent or more patient as a result of your prior partnership. If so, let everything else from the past go except for the lessons and the love. This card emphasizes the importance of loving yourself more, and especially as you prepare for your next relationship or you heal the one you're in. As you start to gain this self-respect, you begin attracting more loving people into your life, and this will lead to healthy relationships and friendships and romances based on mutual respect. So there you go. You've just been very disrespected and unfairly treated. And we've got reciprocity and temperance. That means it's unbalanced. And the death card in reverse, the broom, yeah, you're not dealing with getting rid of the situation because you've been so forgiving. And that's a poor judgment. What is a message for love? And then we'll get how they really feel about you. Oh, here's a message for you. I'm thinking of you in this very moment, and your love fills me with light. I love you. So they are thinking of you, mistreating you, but thinking of you. Right now, they want more of a friendship. Okay, they're not looking for deeper. They just want friendship. If you stop trying to force marriage or romance, and if you nurture the bonds of the friendship with them, then your love life will dramatically transform. So yeah, take a step back, Sag. Consider just being a friend right now, because I just don't see how you looking desperate or needy is going to help you in this situation, because they definitely can get the red flags. They can get the sense if you want to kiss them, if you want to sleep with them, if you want to hold them, if you want to be attracted. They get it. And they're like, oh, I know what you want. And they're just not in the mood. Maybe they're going through a breakup. Maybe they're going through the broom and they're having to let go of some ex or some situation, and you're into them, but they're not ready. You know, so listen, the advice for love, Sag, is just be their friend. I'm going to get a message on how they really feel about you in their heart of hearts, regardless of their situation. How does this person really feel about Sagittarius? This person says, listen, I know we have a connection unlike any other. Sometimes I try to deny it, but I can't ignore the signs I receive. So let the universe do the work. This person is getting synchronicities, obvious events, showing them, hey, magic in this connection. They love you. They're here for you. It's divinely guided, temperance. But they are in denial and they are pushing you away, 7 of Wands, and they're defensive. But if you just take that step back and you be a friend and you respect yourself and you give them no signs that you want anything more, even though you do, if you just hold back, it's Page of Swords, let the universe do what it does. You're going to see how this could very well transform. And let's get a fortune cookie for love. What does this relationship hold? What kind of future maybe do you see in the near future? You got this. Aww. Sag, love is a journey, not a destination. Just keep swimming. You've got this. So don't worry about the end result. This is a work in progress, and it's probably longer with temperance than some relationships. There's definitely some hiccups and some, you know, but that's all part of the journey. So hang in there because you got this. And guys, I need something to drink. I think I'm going to finish this reading and then I'll do something to drink because my throat. I thought I had a drink up here, but I don't. Okay. Well, this is gone, so yeah.
I think what my nose was so clogged. I can't believe what that was.
That's okay. I'll get a humidifier, okay?
What's that?
It puts moisture in the air to help you. So let's go into money. All right, I feel like we've settled what we need to settle for Sag and love. So for finances, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is a great sign for prosperity, business ownership, home ownership, large sums of money in your lap coming to you, long-term investments, and money that's growing. So I see money is growing. I feel like there's a number that's going to blow up even bigger than what the number is. So I feel like you're going to get some money very soon. I feel like money is on the way. It's expanding for some reason. Yeah, I definitely feel that. Let's get some cards for your money. Spirit, show me what's coming out for Sagittarius with money. Can you show me the financial situation, please? Okay. So we have scathe, scythe, whatever you want to call this. This is cutting, reaping the harvest. This is seen as cutting of something. And then we have a home. And then we have the rider. For a lot of you guys, I see that you're going to be moving. When it comes to money, I see you're going to get blessed with money and you will be moving. So I would get some boxes now. Start packing, start preparing for a move. Because I feel like within 4 months, you will move. You're going to get some information about it. This is a big gesture. Wow. Everything, I'm sorry, this card is what I'm reading. To everything there is a season, and to every time and purpose under the sun. That's from the Bible in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 8. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. It says, be careful. I am swift and I'm sharp. I cut through with precision. With a sharp and clear vision, I am an accident, a deep cut, a break, and sometimes a difficult decision that needs to be made. I bring a good harvest or danger. But in this one, it's a good harvest with the Queen of Pence. So he brings good harvest. Look at what I'm cutting nearby. So he's cutting the house. So you're probably going to have to sell a house or leave. Like I said, you're just going to be moving and moving on, going to a new house, going to a new place. I think you're cutting through problems or obstacles so you can get to this house or to this stability with money. With the rider, it's a call to action. Okay, so when you get this and that, it's a call to action about your house. So there is going to be action taken on the home, the money, the investment, and the security. Even if it's not a home, which I think for Sag it is about your house. This is about your security in a nutshell. And let's get another message. Let's see what deck I want to use. Deck. Spirit, please guide and direct me to a message of prosperity and abundance and a money reading with the Queen of Pentacles for Sagittarius. Communication. The snow moon. So, the writer and communication. Wow, you're going to be getting some news very, very quickly. Some news about money. I want you to know, if you're watching this, get ready. 36 is the number of Saturn energy. Saturn matures at the age of 36. Look at your Saturn. Something's coming in. The waning moon, snow moon, indicates an opportune time for imparting or exchanging information and ideas. Here I have portrayed a woman communicating with a goddess who is depicted as her three selves: the maiden, the mother, and the crone, as she communicates with the women and helps her process her issues. Drawing this card is a sign that it may be time, with money, finances, to discuss your feelings, ideas, and worries that you have with another person. You have not been honest and open with your partner, perhaps? Have you been keeping to yourself and ignoring a friend instead of telling them how you feel about an action that they have done? Open yourself up and communicate without judgment. So I do see a time coming quickly where you're going to be able to communicate your worries and concerns about finances or house. For some of you guys, this means mediation in a formal setting. For some of you guys, this means a settlement. Let's clarify a little bit deeper on that to see who you're actually dealing with. Spirit, show me exactly who they're going to be communicating with. Use these cards to show Sagittarius the communication and with whom. About money. We have the patient witch, the hanged man. Learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. Interesting, because this is coming to cut something down, take something away from you, or take something away from someone else. And you're waiting to hear that. You're waiting to get news that the house is yours or that someone's going to pay up. The person is a Pisces, because that's the hangman. This person has been sitting on information and not sharing. They've been making you wait. You are going to get resolution within 30 days, because I have the Ace of Cups, which is 30 days. And this is an offer and a blessing and a gift from the universe, and it's a new opportunity, and it is a new beginning. So you are going to get a message of a new beginning, and I feel it's positive, and I feel it's prosperous, and I feel like money and abundance is in your favor based on the House card and the Queen of Pentacles and the Rider. So I do feel like this is coming your way. I don't feel this is going their way. This is coming your way. To clarify the patient witch, how do I put this? Believe it or not, there was a time when this witch that's sitting on the bed was not a very patient witch. That's until she realized certain things in life happen exactly when they're meant to happen and not a moment sooner. There's no point in trying to rush it, so you might as well get comfy where you are, right? She says with a half shrug, if you're annoyed with this in-between place with money, and you've been in between, not knowing and knowing, then surrender all your expectations. If this happens, then great. But if it doesn't happen, then it's not the end of the world either. It was meant to be, or it wasn't. Okay? So it's meant to be or it wasn't. So I feel like, and under this card, believe it or not, is judgment. You're waiting on a decision, you're waiting on a judgment for a house, for money, for some security to come your way. And you've been waiting. And for Sag, you've been dealing with a lot of sitting around and in between just patience, not knowing, okay? I love this communication card in the Rider because you're finally going to get it. And the Skeeth, Scythe, whatever you want to say, it's like the Ace of Swords. It's coming to cut in and say, okay, time for the cut, time for the harvest. What is your cut? Sag, your cut may be a house. You may get a house. That may be your cut. It may be security. It may be money from a house. It may be money that's coming to you because someone has to pull out from their house. It may be money that's coming to you so you can buy a house. I just want you to know, Sag, the wait is almost over. But the most important note to take from your financial reading is everything happens for a reason. It doesn't matter. And at the right time, it will happen. So if you let go of your expectations of what you think you deserve or what you expect, just give it to the universe and say, bless me how you think I need to be blessed. I think you will be blessed with the Ace of Cups. So let's take a look at what that blessing looks like. What does this blessing look like, please, for Sagittarius? Surrendering and waiting for the gift the universe has to offer. So we have Moonlight in the reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have Storm Fields in the reverse. Let's take a look. So 51 and 9. So 51 says, too much analyzing is getting in your way and it's gotten you nowhere. Sag, don't overthink things. You may be exhausted from second guessing yourself all the time and losing your footing. I want you to get back to security, to grounding, to nature, to knowing that everything's going to be okay. Because you've been very insecure about your future and your ability to make good choices. Step back, Sag, regroup, and enter into a more trusting relationship with the flow of life. Don't become overly concerned about perceived mistakes or how you will learn to dance if you don't occasionally misstep. On the moonlit path, you can discover love, truth, and wondrous things. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Go play, get your mind off this, and have fun. Stay open and wait for that message because it's coming. So yeah, it's like, don't worry anymore, okay? I need you to go to the zoo. I need you to go to the mountains. I need you to go to the park. I need you to go ground in the backyard or relax and watch TV. Like, there's not a lot you can do right now, but wait for this message. So it's coming. And the storm fields in the reverse say this. Now is not the time to engage in any activity that brings unwanted chaos or drama. This kind of storm can be destructive, and you'll regret your actions later. Hurtful words will be carried on the wind and bring a tornado of betrayal, anger, and unnecessary angst. Find shelter. This turbulent weather will pass, and your house will be untouched. Say no to the drama. Wait till the storm blows over. Only then will you be heard. And the dog just barked, and I think it's thundering outside. Was that thunder? Was that thunder?
Yeah, a little.
Okay, yeah, isn't that ironic? There's the omen, storm and thunder, and there was just a tornado in Denver yesterday. Don't stir the pot is what I'm hearing. Wait before you take action on anything. I feel like action's already been taken. So let it all play out. Let it all play out. I think you're going to get reward, and I think your house is safe, your home, your security, your money is safe. Okay, so let it all play out. Perfect timing. Let's get the fortune cookie oracle, and we'll be done with that message. I can find it. Well, oh, there it is. Spirit, please show me a message for Sagittarius with these fortune cookies. Money and Sag. Deep thought is good for the soul. It's time to just be quiet and reflect. Bottom of the deck is someone is walking away, leaving. All right, so yeah, someone's got to move, someone's got to leave. Could be you. You might be walking away, moving, or they might be walking away, moving. But when it comes to finances, I think they're leaving. I think financial worries are leaving. Yeah, so have peace with it. Anyways, that's what I got for money for Sag. And let's look at your spiritual walk. So you have the Death card. So there's a huge transformation and ending in your life as a Sagittarius. You're going through a transformation of who you are and what you believe in spiritually. Your belief systems may change altogether. So you may have changed religion, spiritual beliefs, practices. This kind of just represents an ending to something that was and will be no more. So I feel like when it comes to your purpose with your walk, you're not looking to continue, or you're closing a chapter in your life. So if you were a Christian, you might be getting into occultism. If you're not into occultism, you might be getting into Christianity. If you're looking into being, into Islamic religions and beliefs, you might be getting into that. Or Hindu beliefs, you might be getting into that. Whatever this is, it's like, okay, well, I've changed my viewpoint. I'm not who I was. I don't believe in what I used to believe in. What does this mean for you, Sag? It means a new compass. And it means you're being guided off the track that you've been on. So I just feel like this is a good positive change, though. It's a bittersweet. It's painful, but a whole new Sag. What comes out is the 10 of Pentacles. Under that is the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, no less. Both of them mean great money, great personal success. I think you're going to be making money with spirituality. You might be opening an occult, spiritual kind of business, or it's taking a new turn. Some people choose to get married and have a bunch of kids, maybe even a dog or two. Some people want to open up a huge business and that's their baby. Whatever this represents for you, there's prosperity to be shared. And you may feel like you have it all. And that's because you will. And you do. Whether it's something new you're used to, or taking pleasure in the comfort and security, which I doubt with death, no matter what happens, prosperity and abundance is coming in. So your spiritual beliefs are finally paying off. And they're helping guide you in the direction where I think you're going to start making some money spiritually with a spiritual business. That's what I feel. You may even be speaking to the dead, seeing the dead, or connecting with the dead, which is spirits and souls that have passed on. Yeah, you're digging deep. The compass, a new direction. You're going to be working with what happens after we pass away. You're going to be working with that. This is a new gift. I think you're going to be connecting with being a channel and a medium. I feel like that's the next step in your Sagittarius journey. So being a medium and connecting with spirits, or connecting with death or people that have been killed, murdered, or hurting, trying to reach out and dig deep into that realm, very Stranger Things, the other side, and knowing that you can reach and communicate with that other side. So I see this big jump. That's good. Where does this take you? Hey, can you boil some water in the little pot so I can make some tea or coffee?
Yeah.
Thank you. Encouragement. You're being encouraged to take this next spiritual step into mediumship. Connect with your ancestors, connect with your children, connect with others, but you're being encouraged, and your ancestors actually want to encourage you. That's what that card means. So your ancestors may have had the gift and they're passing it down at a certain age. 54 could be a significant number for you. But this card tells you that you're being gently encouraged to step into your power and into your dreams. Like, look into your dream work. New things are out there to be explored and nurtured. This is giving you a nudge in the right direction with a compass. You will get the help you need, and you won't be alone in your quest. Every step you take now is supporting you with the wisdom of the universe. You are on the right path. Keep going. I love it, especially with the compass. You're absolutely on the right path. The well is symbolic of wishes, resources, and healing. It's very deep, and it means there's big things at hand. The well is about looking deeper into an issue or looking deeper into situations. It could even be seen as investigation and detective work, which you're very good at, Sag, being a detective. The nearby cards kind of talk about your difficulties, which is you've needed guidance. You've needed a compass. Sorry, you can't see over there. You've needed a compass on what direction to go to find this truth in yourself. And you've been pursuing this maybe as a business or an endeavor in some sense. Like, should I do this? Should I use this? Should I be of service to others? Well, this is a clear choice. And get ready, because the compass represents many things that are going to start guiding you. Numbers, synchronicities, even voices and words that you're going to be hearing. Look at the signs and synchronicities around you and see what stands out the most. Let's get an oracle on your spiritual path for Sag. Again, the ancestors are encouraging you to speak to them, to reconnect. You might be connecting with passed on relatives. You might be hearing them. This could be part of your spiritual walk. Someone that's passed away, 10 of Cups, someone you love, very close to you, grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, cousins, best friends that feel like family. They're connecting with you, and you're going to be shocked that you can hear them, that you can communicate with those from the other side. Oh my God, I got chills, goosebumps. I'm scared. This is exactly what's happening. Reaching out. Your ancestors are reaching out, and there's the owl, there's the wisdom, the intuition, the psychic abilities, the mediumship. Get ready. So, drawing this card is time to make an effort to do something for other people. Yeah, being a medium, Sag, is something you can do for others. This card indicates that it is essential to lend a compassionate hand to those in need. Maybe there's someone that needs you and is reaching out for your support. Perhaps there's a person who's struggling with addictions or who needs encouragement. Where in your life can you do something good for another person? So, Sag, you're being asked from the universe to help. Get ready for it. It's coming. I think that's it. I think I'm done with the video. I've been here too long. I wanted to do the other two, which is Cancer. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys here? My video just shut out. I see old comments from like an hour ago. If you're here, say something. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. It's been a long video. I'm going to get some coffee and some tea, and then I'll just come back on an additional message for Cancer and Capricorn because they need to get read. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of them in a little bit. I'm going to take a break first. But this concludes Gemini and Sag and the abundance reading for the collective. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching me. I will see you later. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to donate for a free reading, I'm doing birthday donations through the weekend for my daughter. Your donations will go towards what she needs for herself and I need for her. She's trying to do a lot of independent things on her own. It's been very difficult, a lot of obstacles. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just do donate readings. Whatever you donate, I will do some readings, answer some questions based on the level of your donation and as an energy exchange and a thank you. So if you guys want to donate anything, you can go to my website and just hit the donate button and we can do a reading when I come back, or you can just do through Cash App and I'll just continue to do donation readings this weekend. All right, through this week to this weekend. Okay, I love you guys and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching.